This is so crazy. But as cold and flu season arrive, a new Washington Post poll found that 1 in 6 American parents are rejecting vaccine recommendations. The majority of parents still support immunizations, but there's been a declining trust in childhood vaccines since the pandemic. I mean, when did people stop trusting their pediatricians? That's the person who has your baby. Can I just ask one question? Everybody who's been vaccinated in this audience, just put your hand up. And you're all still alive. Okay, I was just checking. Did you?
Everyone. I think it's terrifying because there's this
If you're
notion...
not, don't come back.
There's this notion out there that, well, I don't have to get vaccinated because everyone else is getting vaccinated and there'll be this herd immunity. But if you look at the statistics and you look at the evidence and the science, you need 95% of the population vaccinated in order to get herd immunity, achieve it. And at this point, there are only 92% of kids that are immunized, let's say, against measles, mumps, rubella, polio, 92.5%, and then 92.1% against DTaP during the 2024-2025 school year. Do you know how many children can become severely ill or perhaps, God forbid, die?
Yes.
And we know now that global immunization efforts have saved an estimated 154 million lives. That's 6 lives every minute over the past 50 years. 95% of those lives are children. So I, as a parent myself, of course, I had all of my kids, both of my kids vaccinated. And I do wonder...
Say, how many kids you have?
It's my 2
all
kids.
Of my kids.
But I do wonder why a parent would make the choice not to protect their child.
Well, because they're getting this...
There are religious exceptions.
No, and not just that. They're getting from the top this sort of, what's the word, ambiguity. They don't really know. We have come in this country to the point where the head of Health and Human Services is being run by somebody who has no degree in health or human services. You might as well give me the job.
Except that giving you the job, you know better.
I do know better because when I was a child, I was petrified to watch TV and see little kids in those iron lungs.
Yes.
This is something.
Oh, that's right.
I've mentioned iron lungs before, and people don't even know what that
Google
is.
it. It's terrifying.
Well, I think
terrifying.
we live in the time of conspiracy theories. Everyone can look around in their own lives, and what used to be fringe weirdos that you're like, oh, that's my aunt, sorry, is now mainstreamed. There are friends and people that say, oh, I saw this thing and I read this thing. In a civil society, philosophers for thousands of years had said you have to cede a certain amount of trust to your institutions, whether it's medicine, education. You have to give a little bit away. You're not going to Dr. Google your way through life. And so
Google MD doesn't really work.
It does not work, but I think it's not a coincidence that 40% of adults under 30 get their news from TikTok, and 19% of parents under 35 skipped or delayed a vaccine. So I do think you have to watch where you're getting your news from.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because I have, frankly, a lot of friends, girls I went to college with, who are very vaccine skeptical. And it kind of surprised me to find out. And I think we live in a very siloed media environment. 15, 20 years ago, you tuned into the evening news. There were a handful of trusted information outlets. We generally trusted our institutions, whether it be government, academia, public health. And that trust has eroded so rapidly. And I think a lot of people don't necessarily exercise the judgment to realize that somebody with a massive following on TikTok may have zero actual expertise on the issue that they're speaking on. And that has really helped her with public health. I just encourage anyone, if you have a question, always ask your doctor who's looked at you, your health, and your body. They're almost any time going to tell you the best thing for yourself to do is to get vaccinated.
But the doctors are also listening to the word from on high.
I only go to doctors who are not trained on TikTok. I'm putting it out there.
And just the other day, anecdotally, I asked my doctor about something that RFK had said, and I was like, is this true? And she laughed, and she's like, with respect, that's not, and then walked me through the data, and she cited a bunch of peer-reviewed studies.
I love that, but she was laughing hysterically.
But she's more credentialed on public health than RFK Jr.
Well, if someone has gone to school and opened a practice and you've been taking your kid to them, you kind of got to trust them unless they've done something to make you not trust them.
Right, you haven't done the work. They did the work.
They did the work. And this goes with, I'm sure, We all, you know, I'm going to say this, and I have to say it without saying a bad word. Uh-oh. Because opinions
are like, I know.
yeah. And everyone's got one. But you want your doctor to be in the know.
Yeah.
You don't want him to be or her to be one of those.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what
They
you got to
need real
look at.
degrees
You
and
need
real
real
credentials
degrees,
and
4,
experience.
6 years. People go to school for this.
That's
This
right.
is not a joke. This is your health. And these are your kids. These are my kids. Little kids get sick really fast and they pass things to people. You must pay attention. It's not just you and your family. It is all of us.